Yo, what up, how you doing, guys? My name is Sanj, and today we have the second installment to the What Would Sanj Wear, where you guys ask me questions on Instagram in regards to your fashion scenarios, whether they may be made up or real life, and I answer them. Now, out of the many that were left, which by the way I'm super grateful for, so thank you, I picked 5 of which I thought were A, the most interesting, or B, came about the most often. And so with that being said, let's get straight into it. I don't know why I'm wearing a jacket in this video, I never do. But then I was like, hold up, I see people wearing jackets, does that mean something? Anyway, for those of you that will ask, the Henley is from Tom Brown, and the denim jacket is from New Look. Hashtag affordable. For the first look, we have a question that was asked heavily, and that is something along the lines of a cozy winter everyday fit. Now, when it comes to everyday fits, man, I'm all about getting out the house as quickly as possible, being warm and comfy. Normally I chuck on a base layer that might be a t-shirt. In this instance, it is my Haider Ackermann t-shirt, which you can barely see in the look anyway. I'll just show you guys how it looks if it's untucked. On top we have a jumper. This one in particular is from Balenciaga, navy. The fit is incredible. The way it looks is just insane. And then last but certainly not the least, and the most important actually, it keeps you mad warm. It's just an insane piece. At the bottom we have Thomas Meyer trousers. Now, me personally, and this is where kind of your personal preferences come in, sometimes I might be in trousers, some days, most days I'm in jeans, and so entirely up to you as to what you prefer to do. For this instant, because I don't just want to show you guys outfits where I'm just wearing jeans, like there isn't much versatility in that, in my opinion. So we have the Thomas Meyer black trousers that I've rolled up quite a few times. As you can see by the fit, fairly relaxed, straight fit, cropped, black socks, and we finish it all off with some chunky Valentino derbies that were from last season with the studs around the sole. Black leather, clean, again personal preference, whether you go with derbies or whether you go for Doc Martens or any sort of boots, basically winter boot. And last but certainly not the least, I know I get asked about this piece a lot, and that is my vintage shearling jacket that I copped from France, Paris to be precise. It just ties it all off. Any outerwear piece will do. Winter, cozy, everyday fit in London. That's pretty much it from me. Oh, and before I move on to the next look, beanie is from Haider Ackermann. For the second look, someone had asked what I would wear to an art museum or gallery or an exhibition. Now obviously, depending on whether this is an exhibition opening where you might need to like suit up and go in smart. Basically, there are 2 ways to go about it with exhibition galleries and museums and that sort. You either go very smart, suit, or shirts, trousers, nice shoes, or you go kind of casual but ever so slightly that tad bit smarter than just your typical casual clothes, basically. And so this is actually an exact fit that I wore to an exhibition a little while back, but the shirt was slightly different. So base layer, we have my white long sleeve linen t-shirt from the H&M and Isabelle Marant collaboration, which took place, what, 2 years ago? It's still intact, like I wear it a lot, and it's still with me, so you know, H&M sometimes do pull through. On top of that, we have my trustworthy Haider Ackermann shirt. The fit is my favourite thing about the shirt. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that this is my favourite fitting shirt in my wardrobe. The material is insane. I can never fully describe what it is. It's like a wool, but it feels very flannelly. Brown and black stripes, and tying both of those colours, we've got this scarf that was copped from Moscow, Russia. Velvet with this nice little finish at the bottom of it. On the bottom half of this outfit, we have my white SLP denim and my brown espresso Chelsea boots from Bottega Veneta. I love the colours. I'm a big fan, especially recently, of wearing like white on white and then chucking on a layer on top, whether that may be a jacket, whether that may be a shirt. In this instance, it was a shirt, but obviously it can be worn with a jacket if it's cold. Now for the third look, and perhaps the most bravest, some of you guys asked me about Gucci aesthetic and how I would pull it off. Now, I didn't want to go full Gucci by just either purchasing the clothes or borrowing them from someone, and so I just took the aesthetic that was available and just kind of put my own spin to it. Now I know, it's very ballsy, but when I saw this and I was just like, cool, let me just go balls deep with it. So we have the black turtleneck from Dries Van Noten, which I showcased in my previous video. The floral shirt is a women's shirt copped from a vintage store here in London from Blitz. Very ballsy. I know, perhaps you can go with something a bit more tame. On the bottom half we have my Mick Eaton black woolen trousers, which are super flowy, super baggy. Now shout out to James here, this is when he put his own twist and he was like, you should turn them up with a fat cuff, it will kind of sit the whole outfit better, and it did. So this is what he's This is why he's James, basically. And then we have my Valentino chunky derbies, again kind of finishing up this look. Very ballsy. You need a shit ton of confidence in order to pull this off. Would I wear this outside? Yeah, fuck yeah I would. Would I need a couple of like shots or whatever to, I'm just going to psych myself up. I really like the sort of 18th century Venice, Italy, like Renaissance man vibe to this look. And yeah, man, I know it's not for everyone. If the right event calls for it, go for it. Number 4, we have the most asked question, and that was meeting the parents. I don't know why so many of you had come up with that same question. Now, I'm a big believer that if you are meeting the parents, it should be a representation of who you are. We have the Dries Van Noten turtleneck. Again, that sort of really thin t-shirt material in that navy. Beautiful piece, easily becoming one of my favourites in my wardrobe. A shirt from Eton. I decided to keep it blue. I decided to keep this whole outfit fairly tonal and blue because it works well with my skin tone. And then Dries Van Noten bomber that I just chucked on. As you can see, it's about 2 sizes too small, hence why I took it off fairly quickly, but it works. Navy, really nice stripe detail. It's a reversible jacket as well, which is an absolute beauty. Trousers, we have my Balenciaga neoprene-like material in the navy colorway. They fit like an absolute dream. And again, it comes down to personal preferences for footwear. You can go one of 2 ways. You can either go quite formal in the sense of brown lace-ups or boots or loafers. Me personally, I decided to go for the more casual end of things, especially seeing as the top is quite smart with my pink or blush common project Achilles low. Achilles low. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, that's my look. Meeting the parents, clean. It shouldn't raise too many eyebrows, but it should, you know, let the parents know that you know what you're doing when it comes to this fashion shit. And then last but certainly not the least, I had to reel it back to my roots. Very popular question, which is what I would wear to clubs or when I turn up. I have a very simple uniform, man. It's most often going to be a shirt, whether that may be just as a single layer or a t-shirt underneath, depends on the weather. In this instant, it's an All Saints shirt, which I got from Bicester for £15, which is absolutely disgusting. I frayed the bottom myself using a cheese grater. Then on top we have the Haider Ackermann velvet bomber jacket for that quick little flex, so when you walk into the club everybody knows what's up, or perhaps you're the only one that knows, and most likely you're the only one that knows this Haider Ackermann, but you get that ego boost for yourself. Then when it comes to the bottoms, there's a 95% chance you'll see me in some black skinny jeans. These in particular are from Balenciaga. They are waxed. I tapered them very heavily so they fit extremely skinny. And finally, when it comes to footwear, and this is my tip, when it comes to clubs, avoid suede. And I don't mean that you should never wear suede, it just depends on the occasion. For me personally, I do wear suede boots to clubs, but in the sort of nicer clubs. If I know that my shoes aren't going to get stomped about, or there's not going to be some next man trying to pour a drink on my shoes, those sorts of events I will bust out black and also leather. Like black and leather combination is perfect. If anything spills or anything happens to them, easily washable, cleanable, and they look good as new with just a few wipes, so you're good to go. These in particular in this look were from SLP, the Wyatts, for Winter 13, black leather. Ties everything up real nice. I know that I did a disgusting amount of buttons undone, but you know, that's how I do it, you know what I mean? And that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you did. Leave your thoughts, share, comment, subscribe, do all that other jazz. Super appreciative of the support. All my social media information is right here in this corner. Sangiev, Sangiev, that is my full name. We're getting close to Christmas now, so hopefully everyone's enjoying their holidays if you've started. If not, looking forward to them. Everyone's in good health and all that other jazz. Man, have an absolute banger. 2016 has been a bit of a weird one. Me personally, I loved it, but as a whole, 2016 has been a bit weird. I don't know why I'm going on about as if I'm about to close 2016 here. I've got like a couple of videos lined up for the month of December. That is it from me. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Peace. I am absolutely sweating. Woo! Yeah, boy.